So essentially, what you're asking me is, do I think that with everything that I just mentioned, do I think that they can top that? No, absolutely not. I
Okay.
mean, I do think that they're really good rappers, but
See,
I
right?
think we get in Migos fatigue is because there's so many different types of artists that are doing what Migos did, are doing. And so now, even though they've been gone for a while, Culture 2 came out how many years ago? When I heard Straightenin, I felt like, oh man, another Migos song. But actually, we haven't heard that many. Because
We haven't got a Migos song in like 2 years, damn near,
it
or like a year and a
feels
half,
like they
probably.
never left because there's so many different artists like the Migos.
But yeah, no. Speaking of Lil Baby, but is he not on QC along with the Migos? Right?
Yeah, he is. That's a great
Uh,
segue. You're getting better at this. You're
bro,
getting better
hey,
at this thing called podcasting.
I does this, man. I does this. But no, seriously though, like Lil Baby, QC, just like the Migos. You know, these are this is a label that's really been dominating in hip hop. If we being real, for like the last 5 years, easily the last 5 years. There may not. I don't believe there's another label, independent label, that is moving the needle, holding the mantle, carrying the torch more than QC. And so, speaking of QC, Migos dropped a new song called "Straightenin." Right? It's a joint that's good, apparently going to be on Culture 3, which I think is dropping this year. We've seen Offset here and there feature on a couple joints. We've seen Quavo have a sighting. Haven't really seen too much from Takeoff independently, but I want to know from you, man, because this seems like the second wind, maybe even the third wind of the Migos, right? It seems like they're on their third leg of their career. But do you think that the Migos can reach a new level? Like, do you think that they've seen their better days? Or do you think that they can actually get better than what we've seen them in the past? What do you think, man? You're on mute.
I'm gonna say this to start off. People don't remember how big the Migos were just like 3-4 years ago. I think people forget how big they were. Remember, the Migos were on TV a lot. The Migos were on Atlanta. They were on with Childish Gambino. The Migos did songs with Frank Ocean. The Migos had their own potato chips. The Migos had what else? They were going platinum. The Migos were having world premieres for their music.
Man, the Migos was in every commercial.
The Migos were in every commercial, even as we speak. Like, do you remember the dab? They created the dab, a dance that is played in NBA arenas with little white kids that don't even probably don't even know what trap is.
Brother,
don't even know what the bando is. They're dabbing.
Hillary Clinton was dabbing.
Hillary Clinton was dabbing. The dab was a phenomenon. They created the dab. They let you know about it too. They every single song they say, you know, they created the dab. They created the dab.
Nah, they used to say that shit every song.
Something they created the dab.
They don't say that shit no more.
They used to say smelling like left the trap smelling like Funyuns. That we created the
dab. Mama.
But they were huge. Yeah. And then on top of that, just 3-4 years ago, Quavo was a hook killer. There's only a few in the history of hip hop hook killers that you were like, yo, this dude, anytime you add him to a hook on a song, is gonna blow up. Quavo had his time where he was a complete hook killer. Yeah. And then even when they dropped their solo albums, Offset dropped his solo album, it did very well. Quavo dropped his solo album, it did very well. And then the other guy dropped his solo album, it did pretty good.
The other guy. Yo, put some respect. Say his name, man.
Takeoff.
What's wrong with you, man? Yo, by the way,
they beat people up. By the way, I don't want no smoke.
Yeah. They fucked up Justin LeBoy with that Saweetie shit. Please knock it off.
Yeah.
And by the way, I do want to say Takeoff's album was better than Quavo's solo joint.
You think so?
Say that. Yes.
Quavo's was. I didn't like.
Quavo's was like absolutely disappointing. Like it just wasn't good at all.
I didn't like Quavo's album, but yeah. So do I think that? So essentially, what you're asking me is, do I think that with everything that I just mentioned,
yes,
Do I think that they can top that?
Yes.
No, absolutely not. I mean, it's I will say that I do think that the Migos are good. I do think that I do think that Offset is a great rapper. I think Takeoff is pretty good too. And Quavo I think has the appeal. He's a star. Like Quavo to me is a star. I do think that they're really good rappers, but kind of going back to what we said earlier about Lil Baby, and I didn't really elaborate to you guys why I don't think that Lil Baby would have a run 3-4 years long, is because there's 100 different Lil Babies now. There's so many people trying to be him, trying to take his spot, and I can see 5 or 6 different Lil Babies doing what he does, taking the same type of beats that he does, and to a point where we get Lil Baby fatigue. Remember that? When you get so many different like I think that's what's gonna happen with Playboy Cardi also. We're gonna get Playboy Cardi fatigue. We're gonna get Lil Uzi Vert fatigue because there's so many different of them.
I think that's what happened to the Migos. We got Migos fatigue.
I think we get in Migos fatigue is because there's so many different types of artists that are doing what Migos are doing. And so now, even though they've been gone for a while, Culture 2 came out how many years ago? When I heard Straightenin, I felt like, oh man, another Migos song. But we haven't heard that many.
We haven't got a Migos song in like 2 years, damn near, or like a year and a half, like probably.
They never left because there's so many different artists like the Migos.
Damn.
So I think
I like the way you put that.
I think that's a problem, and that's where the J. Coles of the world, Kendricks of the world are very. What they were able to do is such a distinctive sound. You never get tired of J. Cole. You never get tired of Drake because Drake is so good at what he does. It's not even about that. It's people can't do what Drake does.
Yeah.
Too many artists can do what Migos do, and I think that's the issue. It's not even an issue. That's just the reason why I don't think that they can reach the heights that they did. Do you remember think about the first time you heard a Migos song and how they were flowing on that joint? I was like, yo, this is pretty dope. I've never heard something like this before.
For sure. Now, the thing is, I think the short answer is no. I don't think that they can reach the level that they were at before. And I do like the way that you kind of concluded there where you was talking about like fatigue. Like that is a real thing. I don't think enough people are talking about that. Like, one of the reasons I give Kanye West a lot of credit, just overall, right? We were talking about him earlier, but one of the things I give Kanye West probably the most credit that nobody else has successfully done at the level he's done it at is reinventing himself every time he came out with an album again. Think about it. Every single project that Kanye West has dropped, the man reinvented his entire swag. He reinvented the music. He tried to incorporate fresh ideas, tried to just sprinkle in freshness into what he's doing. And I think that the Migos, if there's any knock on the Migos, is it seems they're limited musically, right? And I think that those be the things that cause artists to have that cause artists to not have the longevity or cause somebody like you to feel like Lil Baby is not going to be here for the next year and he's not going to be as hot for the next year, 2 from now, right? It's because it almost seems like you feel like he is not dynamic enough musically to maybe go into a different gear. I know you didn't say that directly, but that's kind of how I took what you were saying. It's like you don't really feel like Lil Baby is musically diverse enough to really do different things to where we're not going to be, I guess, tired of his sound a year or two from now, right?
Baby's the fact of the matter is the Baby, if the Baby is going to have a long career.
Wait, Lil Baby or the Baby? Who we talking about?
Lil Baby. I'm going to say Lil Baby. Okay. If Lil Baby's going to have a long career, he has to, your great point. He has to reinvent himself multiple times. Like that's who have long career. The people that have long careers are the people that reinvent themselves.